Hello everyone, and welcome back to PeliCast. On today's episode, I would like to welcome two of our fourth-year students, Adam Ulbricht and Kryštof Haratek, and they will tell us about the amazing anatomy ultrasound course that they teach here at the faculty. So if you're interested in ultrasound or learning more about the course, this episode is for you. Hope you enjoy! Hello and welcome. On today's episode, I have two fourth-year students from the Czech Parallel studying general medicine, Adam and Kryštof. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you. Welcome.
So I would like to take this opportunity to ask you both about the ultrasound anatomy course that you teach here at our faculty. And since it's about ultrasound, I would like to ask you first how you got into it, what interests you about ultrasound, and maybe a little background story about why you chose to do this.
Sure. My journey started in internal department in Motol, where I, as a second-year student, started to attend an internship on the gastroenterology department, where I got into contact with ultrasound at the first. And as I was a big fan of anatomy, I found out there is so much more to explore on ultrasound. Therefore, during the first summer internship, I started to further develop the skills of becoming a good sonographist, where I tried to master some of the techniques, so on, under the surveillance of one of the best doctors in Motol. And only after I learned how to use the ultrasound, I found out there is a group of students who are fond of teaching ultrasound at the faculty, and I then joined them. And so I brought some of my expertise from the clinical point of view, and I started to learn more about the anatomy, more about the teaching process, because I was more into the clinical stuff. I knew how to examine the clinic in a clinical way. So it was a new perspective I brought into the students. So that was my backstory journey to the ultrasound courses.
Yeah, so my journey with ultrasound started in my first year of the general medicine course at the Department of Anatomy, where I got the opportunity to start conducting research on ultrasound, conducting research on teeny tiny peripheral nerves, and one thing sort of led to another. And I got to go to Heidelberg, to Germany, to their course, to the SASH course, the sort of summer abdominal sonography course, where I learned the basics of abdominal sonography. And then I started teaching what I learned in Heidelberg. I started teaching in the second year to the Czech students. And I've been teaching for 2 years in my second and third year. And now this year we got to sort of become the head student tutors for our School of Anatomy or Sonography Anatomy, anatomical ultrasound.
Congratulations, you both. That is amazing. Could you maybe tell our listeners about how the course is structured, about, what you teach?
Of course we can. As you mentioned, we both became head tutors of the ongoing project. Ultrasound workshops are in our faculty for 3 years now, or 4 years. So we haven't started anything new. We just took what was already happening and what was very good, and we only try to perfect it and enlarge the amount and the sections that we are now teaching. We used to be teaching just the abdominal ultrasound, where we were trying to learn students how to use the probes, how to do some of the basics, and how to examine the anatomy of abdominal organs. However, we wanted to expand in a way and be unique in Europe. Therefore, we found very keen students who was very keen on learning how to do an ultrasound of the heart, which is quite difficult. Personally, I can examine heart very well, but she is very professional. Her name is Lea Vitlingerová. She's from 5th year, and she learned new lectures how to do an ultrasound of the heart, and that's how we started to expand. Now the workshop or the courses are being taught in 4 in 4 sections. The first one is the old abdominal one. The second is the heart. The third is the neck area. And the last, but definitely not least, is the emergency part, where we have a fast protocol, which is very well known among in emergency medicine, which is very highly appreciated by the students who are keen on learning how to use ultrasound in an emergency.
Perfect. So you said there's 4 types. Are each of them taught separately? I think you mentioned the courses are 2 weeks each. Is it like 2 weeks for abdominal and then another?
Yeah, we have the 2-week course in which we teach all of the sections. We have 6 days. Each day consists of 3 hours of ultrasound, of hands-on practice ultrasound, and we have 2 days where we teach abdominal sonography. 1 day where we teach the neck area. 2 days doing heart, and 1 day doing emergency ultrasound. So yeah, we cover it all in 2 weeks. We do with the.
It is quite sufficient for the students to try, but also not to over try. It's very difficult for them to manage how to use the probe. So the 18-hour course is perfect opportunity for them. I think the amount of hours is also very sufficient. I've heard from students it's quite exhausting because it's being held from 5 p.m. till 8 p.m. in the evening, so it might be quite difficult also to manage with the school schedule. However, I think everyone should apply and everyone should try it. It's a very unique opportunity that we have here and that we are grateful for.
Yeah, I have to say our faculty is one of very few that actually has its own ultrasound machine, so that is perfect for our students. Can I ask who can apply? Are there any qualifications that students need before they take the course?
Yeah, so any general medicine student can apply from all the sort of the Prague faculties, mainly from our school, but also from the first and third faculty. The only sort of entry requirement is to have an exam from anatomy. So you have some basics laid down, and you can you can develop further skills in ultrasound. But anyone can apply, and our goal is to teach as many students as possible the basics of ultrasound, just sort of lay the basics of anatomical ultrasound, so that they can further develop their skills in their clinical years.
Amazing. Is there some sort of certificate that the students get at the end, some kind of incentive for them to take the course?
The course is under conservancy of Czech
the medical chamber.
So the certificate has some validation. However, the certificate is only a certificate of participation with a signature of a professor and also the Czech chamber. So yes, students can definitely put it in their CVs. However, we think the more important thing rather than the certificate is the skill that they require, because ultrasound is a skill. It's a skill that you can only learn and further develop, and no certificate can help you certifying or confirming your skills. Only as you know it. So it's very handy to have it, but certificate is not a very important thing in this course.
We have sort of a certificate of
it's a validation that they
it's a validation that they're not just sitting at home and doing nothing after school, but they
So I'm pretty sure only very motivated students take the course. Someone who genuinely likes doing ultrasound and likes furthering their skill. You've both been doing it for a year, 2 years. Would you say from the people who take the course, are they interested in a very specific field of medicine, or just overall?
We have students from the general medicine program interested in all fields of medicine. This is not just people who want to do internal medicine or radiology or, I don't know, emergency physicians. Everyone wants to learn ultrasound because they sort of are starting to appreciate his role in modern medicine. So we have everyone, the whole spectrum.
Yeah, that is amazing. Okay, from you especially, maybe because you mentioned your introduction to ultrasound was very clinical. what is the kind of advantage for students who take this course?
Oh, there are many. The thing is that ultrasound, the role of ultrasound is currently being larger and larger. As the devices are becoming cheaper, you can see every hospital has its own ultrasound, and ultrasound very specifically is a expert-based method. So you can only provide ultrasound when you have experts who can do it. Usually students ask us, can we use ultrasound in surgeries, in ophthalmology? And our answer is usually always yes. You can use ultrasound in almost every department or every field of work. So usually the advantage of the students is when they come to the clinical departments and some doctor is providing an ultrasound, they can orientate themselves. It's like they can orientate themselves in the 50 Shades of Grey. Mm-hmm. We call it this way because sometimes to the patient it looks like a magic, like ghosts. The picture is very difficult to read. So for the students, they can read what kind of organ is it, what kind of plane is it from our workshops, and only and after then, when they master the basics of planes, structures, organs, etc., only then they can go to pathologies, examining and being like a pro doctor. Mm-hmm. So this is the very first step that they need. They need to hold the probe. They need to live with it, and only after they can read the ultrasound. And by the end of this century, there will be ultrasound everywhere. It will become very cheap and very, 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 very high of use and very high demand. So we think it's the best. We are very lucky in the faculty that we can provide our students with such skills. So there are many advantages that they can enrich.
Not only hospital departments, but even general practitioners nowadays. Many of them have ultrasound machines, and we've attended sort of courses in ICAM. Mm-hmm. For professionals, for doctors, and there were many general practitioners who wanted to learn ultrasound like 5 years after they finished, or even 10 years after they finished their studies, because no one taught them in school.
As you mentioned, my clinical practice, I am still attending the clinical departments. I can see many doctors learning ultrasound only after they graduate medicine. And it's very difficult for them because they have a lot of work on the ward. They are trying to learn the ultrasound, which is very difficult. Our students have a huge advantage before them as they start to comprehend the ultrasound on the university. So they are a few years in advance, comparing to other doctors from other faculties. And I can see it quite a lot that young doctors after graduation, first thing that they do in internal, they go to ultrasound because they need to learn it, because we need ultrasound experts. And so it's very time consuming for them as well, with the amount of work that they have on the wards.
Yeah, when they lack the basics of just basic probe work, or work with the ultrasound probe and just basic orientation in space.
Mm-hmm. So I bet it must be very difficult getting the students orientated with both the probes, identifying what they see on the actual screen from, as you said, 50 Shades of Grey. Can I ask how many students at a time usually take the course? How do you make sure that each student actually has a proper hands-on experience?
Yeah. So we have, in one course, we have 6 students on 2 ultrasound machines. Mm-hmm. So there's they're divided into 2 groups of 3, and it's just hands-on. We try to have the smallest groups possible so that they have the most hands-on time. There's one tutor for the whole group, and yeah, I think there's lots of time using the probe, which is the main focus of our courses.
Yeah,
that is amazing. Okay, so that kind of brings me to my next question. You guys have set up this amazing program also for our international students, as in the form of a summer course.
Yeah.
Could you maybe talk more about that?
Of course, we prepared a summer school for international students, not international students from our faculty, but for international students from Europe, from other medical universities. Mm-hmm. We created a very unique summer school which is based on our courses and what we are teaching. We are going to teach as well on the summer school. We've been motivated, and we saw an inspiration in abroad, as there are 2 already existing summer schools in Cambridge, Heidelberg, and now in Prague. So we are very proud of to host it. And what is the idea behind it? I think we just wanted something unique, something also for the international. I think it is very important to gather medical students from other universities, from other countries, to see also the cultural thing. We have something very special here, so why don't to also help others and to share our knowledge?
Yeah.
I think this was the main idea.
Yeah. And so the Heidelberg course only covers abdominal ultrasound, so we wanted to expand on that. And since we have talented tutors that can teach heart ultrasound and neck ultrasound, we wanted to expand on just the model of abdominal ultrasound. So we're going to teach all 3 of these areas in our summer school. And we also want to show the beautiful city of Prague to international students. So we're going to have a rich cultural program with sightseeing and yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. So it's not just actually studying, it's both.
Yeah.
Like to get to know the students. And
yeah, exactly. They're going to come for a whole week. And we're going to have 5 ultrasound hands-on sessions lasting approximately 5 to 6 hours. So it's going to be really, again, as our courses, it's going to be really hands-on and using the ultrasound machine. And then we have lectures from professionals, from doctors from the internal medicine department, from the radiology department, with which we started cooperating just recently. And in the evenings we're gonna have dinners with the students and a party and a pop quiz, and we're gonna show them Prague. Yeah.
Wow. I am looking forward to it for you guys. Sounds amazing. Could you maybe tell us, or to our listeners, if maybe they would be considering applying, what are the qualifications again that they might need? Is there something more than for the other courses?
They need to be medical students first on any faculty, any medical faculty in the world, and need to have the anatomy course finished. Only then we can welcome them. However, only then we can welcome them.
Yeah, but that's many medical students, so yeah, they can feel free to apply.
This one is the first year, so we are newies in a world of summer schools, but summer school will be a tradition for next year. So if someone is listening from abroad and is already in medical faculty somewhere else and would like to see Prague or maybe visit, this is the perfect opportunity not only to visit Prague, see it from the heart, see it from other angles, and also to learn something new. This might be a perfect opportunity for everyone to arrive to second faculty, maybe next year or the other ones.
And when exactly will it be?
It's gonna be in the last week of August, from the 25th to the 30th of August.
Perfect. Could you maybe tell us how students should apply? Is there a website? Or
Yeah. So we have a Facebook page, and we have an event there, the Prague Summer School of Anatomical Sonography. It's an event which they can search, and then there's a link to a Google Forms document in which they can apply. We created a team of students who are volunteering to help us with the organization. So they are responding to many emails that are arriving to us with many questions regarding the summer school. So if anything interests you, we have many talented students who will sure answer you with anything that you need. I think that we can put the link to the video and below the video for the website, and I think everyone can find it and follow us.
How many students are you expecting? Do you know already?
Yeah, so we're expecting somewhere in between 40-45 students. The maximum capacity is 45 students for the summer school. So,
amazing.
Yeah.
So how many teachers do you have for the course?
We have about 15 tutors. Yeah, 15 student tutors.
So really, it's gonna be 2 to 3 students.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the main focus.
Perfect. And since we're already talking about the teachers, is there a kind of system that you guys use, or a test for any potential teachers or your colleagues?
It's usually my job to scout some of the new tutors. It's very difficult, but we have a very good cooperation with Professor Kachlik, who is picking up the best students for us, who will later on be taught by me to comprehend everything that I want the lectures to know, and only after then they can start teaching. We mostly appreciate young students when they are keen on. We already had some very active students who approached me myself and asked me if there is some chance to become a tutor, and I always say yes. But it's very difficult to become the tutor. I think you can imagine, as a tutor, you can't only know what you are teaching. You have to know something more.
Mm-hmm.
And to know something more, it takes a lot of time, not only to comprehend the probe managing and the probe orientation, but also to know some of the clinical practice, some of the theoretical knowledge from anatomy, which is deeper than the surface level. Therefore, it's a process around 2 months that we are trying to not only teach them by me or by Kryštof, but also send them to the clinical departments when they are being taught by doctors themselves, where they can see how the ultrasound is being used in practice. And I think only after then they can teach our students, because it's very difficult that we set the quality high. Only when the quality of the tutors is high, only then the courses will work, and we put a lot of emphasis on the quality of the lectures. Yeah. So there is always a way, but it's also a long process. But I always say to the lecturers, I'm feeling like a motivational speaker sometimes to them, that they are enriching themselves. Every time they are teaching the lesson, they are just revising what they know. So they won't forget it with anything that they will work as in their future practice, in their future career. They will always know how to do the ultrasound, and it's very difficult because you can always build on them, develop something more. So it's also very good for them to teach a lot, to put it in your hand and never forget.
Yeah, it was one of the main reasons for creating the 4 distinct sections, because each section has a section head, sort of. So Adam is the head of the abdominal sonography section. Then there's Lea, who's the head of heart anatomy. Then there's another girl called Adela Ilbeková, which teaches or is the head of the section of neck anatomy, and the emergency ultrasound section is headed by Julia Vytřísalová. So each head sort of is the boss of new tutoring. So they take the new tutors and they teach them everything that they know. They take them into the departments and they try to, as Adam said, ensure the highest quality of our tutors.
So this might be amazing for them as well. If they're interested in heart, they can teach heart. I don't need them to know the basics of neck. That's also for the students to decide what kind of doctors they would like to be and what would like to teach. So it's also might be interesting for them this way.
So in the course, you learn everything, but once you want to become a tutor, you can specialize into the specific section which you want to do, and then you can be really good at ultrasound of the section.
And we provide them with all the cooperations we have with the emergency department, with the radiology department, in the medicine department, and we are using the cooperations for our students, our lectures mostly, to grow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you can 100% guarantee a proper quality course for your students.
Trying to love.
Which is great. Okay, could you maybe give us some advice to students who would like to take your course? Is there something that you think, students who prepare, if they're gonna get more out of the course if they, let's say, revise anatomy, something?
Yeah, exactly. I think that they can, if they're in their later years of study, like in their 4th, 5th year, I think refreshing anatomy would maybe be helpful, because refreshing anatomy. But mainly, I think just apply and go see for yourself. Just apply for the course and
try it out. Just try it out, and you'll see. It's 18 hours of your time. What can you lose? You can only learn or gain something. There is nothing more to lose than just to learn something more.
And we teach from the absolute basics, so you don't need to have any prior skills of ultrasound or knowledge of ultrasound. We teach from the absolute basics.
Yeah, and we encourage the students to take the opportunity. They are attending the second faculty, or they may be attending the second faculty in their upcoming years if they are applying. There is a high chance that you can learn something that no one else knows in other universities. So sure, use it.
Yeah. It's a great advantage of the second faculty to have.
That is true.
Yeah.
And can I just ask, maybe since you guys took over, you also took over all the management, organization stuff. Has that been challenging for you since you are still both students, How do you...
Yeah. Fortunately, in the fourth year, we have plenty of time to do all of that. So yeah, it's challenging, but we've been managing so far. I don't know if Adam wants to.
I'm mostly trying to manage.
Okay.
Mostly running behind with many things that I always promise to everyone everything, but as I have a lot on my plate, sometimes it becomes difficult. But it's very nice. It's very nice work. You work with very talented and motivated students, and I think that's very nice. At least for me, I like to work with the tutors, because they like to learn. They want to learn, and they ask a lot of questions, and I love it when they ask a lot of questions. So, for me, it's challenging but very, very rewarding job.
And you also mentioned that you work closely with Professor Kachlik. Is he does he help you with the syllabus sometimes, or is it all you two?
Yeah, so Professor Kachlik has been great from the start. He's he's super welcoming to new ideas. The courses work under his department, under the Department of Anatomy mainly. Even though we cooperate with other departments like the Internal Medicine department, the Radiology department. It's mainly under the anatomy department, and he's been our mentor, I think, from the start. And I got to ultrasound thanks to him. So yeah,
he's the father of all those new ideas that we have.
Exactly. Yeah.
Also with the summer school, he was very keen on helping. So we highly appreciate that we have such a environment for our projects.
Exactly. Yeah. We have a very welcoming environment for all new ideas and all new projects.
Yeah, I'm very glad that our faculty is so supportive of this amazing course, since you guys really do provide a very unique opportunity to not just our students, but students, now internationally, which is great. So is there anything you would like to add to those, potential students?
Yeah, just come and apply. Come and apply for the courses throughout the whole year. We teach the whole year, so even though you may have some exams or stuff, you can apply throughout the whole year. And if you're not from the second faculty, just apply for the summer school of anatomical sonography in Prague.
I would maybe add, apply somewhere. You don't need to apply to our courses. Just apply somewhere. Go for scientific research. Go for writing medical articles. Go for some courses. Learn how to search. Do something more. Do some thing outside the box. What might be good for you. What you can then benefit from, and just do something extracurricular that is connected to medicine, or not connected to medicine, but just do something more. And we'll be happy to host you. We'll be happy to welcome you. But I think the best advice is to do something more rather than those ordinary activities.
Thank you so much. Thank you both for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you for inviting us. Sure.